Ka-isturyaHANNAHy ta. Let's talk about how we were all Hailey Bieber at one point in our lives. So this is going to be a first where I don't necessarily have a written article in front of me to read off of. I know it's going to be difficult once I'm going to edit, since, well, it's just something more difficult. If you're not aware, well, to be able to cut the pauses and then cutting where everything's just being repeated takes a while and takes a chunk of your time, and it's just kind of annoying, to be quite honest. But I didn't have one pre-written because I just honestly, I kind of just slacked, and I did have quite a chunk of workload, so I didn't have the time to do that. And so instead of not having an episode at all, let's just try this method, I guess. I kind of just wanted to catch up slash talk more about my personal life, although to be quite honest, how personal or how more personal could I get, considering the stuff that I have been discussing. But I guess more in a sense, how surface level stuff, how I'm going or how I'm doing and what's going on in my life. But I don't know why, but I kind of wanted to talk about Hailey Bieber and Selena Gomez. Uh, 100% Team Selena. All of my TikTok content is all pro Selena, Team Selena. And my Facebook page, though, surprisingly, is Hailey. Although people, like my friends, my feed, those are pro Selena still. But when I look at like articles and see the comments below, those are Team Hailey, or at least they're bashing on Selena, not necessarily Team Hailey, but anti Selena. And well, those people, I kind of know that they don't know most of what's going on. Char, insider. But yeah, so I'm not necessarily gonna talk about the whole drama situation because there's a lot of content surrounding that. So if that's what you're interested in, then go deep dive, go do a deep dive and have fun. What I'm interested in talking about is, well, when you think of it, Hailey is, it's a joke how she's Joe Goldberg, was it? Like a Hailey Goldberg situation, and that she's a stalker. She's just kind of like a fangirl turned wife sort of thing. And I wanted to talk about that in a sense where she got so quote unquote crazy over this guy, this idol, and it actually kind of comes off like she's also, or actually even more crazy, she's crazier about Selena than Justin. Obviously, because Justin's not really doing anything about it or being vocal about defending his wife, that maybe, it kind of pushed Hailey to get a little bit more cray cray and a little bit more insecure. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I guess I just wanted to discuss about how at one point in our lives, we have been Hailey, where we do everything just to get this person's attention, just to get this person's love and affection, whether it be right or wrong. That's up for debate. Whether it be right or wrong, that's up for debate, but we have done some crazy things for a guy or a girl. So that's kind of what I wanted to discuss. And to be fair, I've been with my fiance for 14 years since I was 16. So I may not have a lot of guys under my belt, but I do have a lot of crazy tendencies. I think I do have a lot of crazy tendencies. And I wanted to share those moments. It may not be as crazy as others because, again, I was so young when I was head over heels over crushes and stuff like that. So I guess let's go through it chronologically. And again, I don't have any notes or anything, so good luck. And maybe I may forget some stuff along the way, so maybe I'll do a part two if that happens. Although, do I even have enough stories for a part two? So, I don't know. Anywho, so let's go back to when I was possibly 11 years old. And I had this crush on this guy since I was, I don't know, 9 or 10. So if you've had that long term crush at that age, you've been in a long term relationship crush with that person, basically. So I was so into him, but he's a year older. So we don't really have classes together and stuff like that. And I wanted to catch his attention. I am close, or I was close with his younger brother, who's a year younger than me, and we actually were classmates for a Chinese subject. And I didn't make friends with him because I had a crush on his brother. I just kind of I just kind of naturally became his friend, I feel like, because one of the girls that he was friends with was also a close friend of mine. So that's kind of just naturally how it came to. How crazy was I? I'm sorry. Do I want to put this out into the world? Let's. So I'm just prolonging this, but I basically um gave him a handkerchief for him to spray his brother's perfume on so I could keep it. Is that not stalkerish? I mean, at least it wasn't me who went out, you know? It was his brother who helped me out. Thank you. He was so supportive that he actually gave me a baby picture as well, or like a toddler photo of my crush. And I'm just laughing. It's not really that bad, right? But I'm just laughing because it's so embarrassing. And there also was a time where I'm not sure if it's relevant to your place, but at the time we sent group text messages to everyone, but it's not like a group chat, like a thread where everybody receives all the messages. So you kind of just send it as a group, but they receive it individually. So at like the end of the message, like a forwarded message, like a quote or a joke or anything like that, you can also, it's sort of like a lazy way of sending a group text and addressing a specific person or two or a couple at the end of your message. And so what I did was that I keep this is very relatable. I feel like I keep on sending group text messages including him, but it wasn't a group text message. But it wasn't as obvious, I feel like, because I made sure to send the messages to his friends as well. So he wouldn't think that it was just sent to him. Because I also sent it to his friends, so it wasn't just him. I'm so embarrassed. And then, that didn't work. I don't think he replied, but I would intentionally send a text message to him when it was not supposed to be his. It's like saying, "Oh, okay, I'm waiting for you here, blah, blah, blah." And then you're going to send another one. "Oh, I'm sorry, that was meant for so and so." so that I could get a conversation going. But obviously, I wasn't as smooth. Sure, am I smooth right now? But yeah, I wasn't smooth. So, well, he would reply and say it's no worries, whatever, whatever. So it kind of, we just never had a conversation, but he would reply like no biggie and stuff. I also made sure that the first letter of the person I was supposedly sending the message to is near his, or like has the same letter to his name. So it's like, obviously, if it's a letter B, if it was somebody named Ben, I'd say, oh, I was sending it to Beth. So like, obviously, it's an honest mistake. So it's very like that, but okay, it's not Hailey Bieber vibes. Most likely because I don't have the cash to stalk someone. But anyway, I think the last embarrassing thing that I did um for this guy was that I legit wrote a love letter and I gave it to him. I honestly don't remember how I gave it to him, if I had somebody give it to him, if I slipped it in his locker. I don't really remember. But the embarrassment that I felt, because when I was on my way to like the bathroom, the school bathroom, I had to pass by this playground that they were sitting on, like they were just hanging around in, with him and his friends, and his friends read the freaking letter. Maybe it's in my imagination where he read it aloud, or his friend read it aloud while I was passing, just boys being bullies and stuff. But yeah, I wrote a freaking letter to him. So I'm not a mushy person at all, or at least no longer a mushy person, but maybe he jaded me to not be a mushy person anymore and to be so out with my feelings. Um, but that's what I did, and it's a typical Pisces thing, I guess. So seeing everything through rose colored lenses, like that's crazy, right? I feel like that's crazy. So for my first boyfriend, I actually don't remember doing anything crazy. Maybe because he was also into me, so I didn't feel like I had to go through all these lengths for him to, for me to catch his attention. Um, Also, I guess I got a little bit older, so, and again, jaded from that letter, so maybe that's why. I don't know. And so there's not really a lot of embarrassing things that I did that's kind of in line with professing my love for my first boyfriend, I feel like. I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Thank God. And then I had a situationship after that. That I was so insecure because I didn't feel like I had him. So obviously, I did whatever that I could to get his attention and to make sure that he was mine. I did a lot of things with him that I honestly shouldn't have done because I was pressured into. But the things that I voluntarily did because I wanted to have him and keep him. Um, so I was insecure about his ex. I don't think they got together, but it's like, I'll just say an ex. And I think I got insecure just because he was a transferee, so the ex's friends were kind of bullying me because I was the new girl, even though the ex doesn't want him anymore. So I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe they were just being haters or whatever. So I got insecure because of that, because why were they still bothering him by bothering me? So I felt like, does she still like him, stuff like that. She didn't, but again, 13, 14, 15-year-old girl feeling super insecure about that. So what did I do? I got her phone number and I befriended her. How insecure could you fucking get? I befriended her. We're still kind of acquaintances right now, and I'm like fucking 31. So it's been like 15, no, even more than 15 years after. 16, 17 years after, and we're still acquaintances. We do live in a small town. We would inevitably run into each other, especially when it came to school and, small circles, stuff like that. So, yeah, we kind of did become friendly in a hi, hello sense. Like, I would smile at her when she sees me and so forth. So, I knew there was nothing with that. The thing with me was that I wanted to be friends with her because I wanted to make sure that she had a guy or that she was crazy about a guy or that she had a crush on someone. So I kind of just wanted to make sure that she was out of the picture. That's why I wanted to be her friend. Right now, I do think she's kind of a cool person, so I wanted to be her friend regardless. Um, but at the time, insecure Hannah, I wanted to be her friend to make sure that she was not into him anymore. So I befriended, I fucking befriended his ex so that I knew that he wasn't going to be with her. Cray cray. It feels a little bit similar to when Hailey had Kendall bring Selena to Dubai for New Year's Eve so that Hailey could spend New Year's Eve with Justin. So obviously I didn't have more people in the plan. It was just kind of me befriending somebody else and making sure that she was out of the picture without being rude or mean or anything. I sure hope I wasn't. So I feel like that's a crazy thing to do. I cringe at it. So I think it's crazy because I'm cringing at the moment that I did that. Like I did that. So that to me is very cringe. Um, ew. Again, crazy things we do. With my fiance, I'm not really sure if I've done any crazy things in order to claim my territory. He's not my property or anything, so obviously that's not the case. But just making sure that he was mine and mine alone. I'm not sure if there was anything like that. I think I did attempt to go through the same route of befriending her again. I don't know how I got her fucking phone number. How did I get her number? But basically on Facebook, she posted her class schedule. So she either posted her whole class schedule or she posted a subject or two with a schedule. You know how crazy I was? I passed by her classroom for that class at those time slots just so I could see her. I wasn't insecure in a sense how I knew that my boyfriend loved me and stuff like that. He wouldn't get back with her. But there's just this curiosity that you have with your current significant other's ex. Or maybe that's just me. Because again, I'm a nosy person. So I made sure to pass by and see her and make sure that she saw me. And I made sure to dress up so that I looked good. As good as a freaking 18-year-old would look like. Crazy, right? Um, Obviously, I wasn't starting any fights or anything. Again, I was just kind of curious. Again, I wanted to attempt to befriend her, but not with the same purpose of trying to make sure that she wasn't with my boyfriend. More so, again, just kind of being a nosy bitch. But I couldn't. I felt like I didn't want to do it that way. So, I think what I did was I catfished her. I think I had a different phone number to use and catfished her. I didn't even catfish my boyfriend to catch him in the act that he had somebody else. No, I was catfishing the ex. I was just kind of messaging her. I don't even remember the stuff that I said. I don't think it went to a certain extent where I catfished her. I just catfished in the sense that I messaged her saying I was a different person. I was a guy. I didn't create any fake profile or anything, and that was kind of just that extent. I just pretended to be someone else. And I think that's the last thing that I can remember that I did something crazy for a guy slash in relation to a guy. Because again, I don't think the last thing that I did was because I wanted to stake my claim or anything. It was more so, who are ya? So yes, it's a very weird thing, but it is what it is. And to be quite honest, being bitter about your partner's ex and posting shady things, those are pretty normal. However, to the level of bullying and being mean girls and stuff like that, that's definitely a no-no. But just being kind of shady and stuff, I think that's kind of normal in that sense. And for them, meaning Hailey, for her to have a big platform is also just kind of irresponsible to do, to be honest. So although I feel like it's normal to be shady and bitter, I still feel like it's irresponsible for her to do that in such a big platform with a voice that she has. So I am still Team Selena. So these were the instances where I feel like I was in my Hailey Bieber era and did crazy things for a guy or in relation to a guy. How about you? I know for sure there's something that happened even just once where you did something so stalkery and so crazy that you would say right now you'd say, why the fuck did I even do that? How the fuck did that even cross my mind? And how the fuck did I even follow through with that? I'm pretty sure you at least have one moment. Share it. Share it. So share your stories. I don't want to feel alone in this one. No, sir. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you're on Spotify, don't forget to like, rate, and follow the pod. And if you're on YouTube, don't forget to like this episode and subscribe and share this episode or any of my episodes. I would immensely appreciate it and it would help me a ton. Isturyahanay tayo. Let's talk on the next episode.